What's up, everybody? It's Roger, Working Man Cigars, and tonight I'm going to be overviewing a new one. This is going to be AG Cigars. Such a beautiful looking cigar. Now, this was sent over by Alex Gonzalez. I think his IG name is like AG. I'll put it in here somewhere. I think this is a Connecticut. I think he has two blends, and this is the lighter shade, and I believe this is called Nuevo Reino. It's got an Ecuadorian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. I don't usually go into like blends and stuff like that on cigars, but because this was sent over by Alex, I want to make sure I kind of give a bit of the info right. If I get anything wrong, I'm sorry, Alex. I just did a bit of research. One of the reasons why I don't call my overviews reviews is because I think people who want to come in and see a review of a cigar, get an honest representation, there's certain standards you got to do. And that's why in my videos I'm always like, this isn't a review, so don't come looking for like all the proper facts, all that stuff. I'm sure there's that information's out there, and there's really good reviewers out there that go into all this stuff, and I just want to smoke it, tell you guys what I'm getting. So I'm going to be doing this one. Now, there's a few sizes in this blend, right? I have two of them. I have a smaller one that looks like a Robusto. This one looks more like a Toro. I think this one's called the King, and it's a 6x54. All right, so during this time I'm gonna reach out to Alex just to ask him a little bit more info on the cigar. Make sure I'm not saying anything wrong, because like I said, because it is a cigar of somebody that we know a little bit. He's always watching Cigars Unbanded. That's how a lot of us met him. And he listens to it. He's always in the chat. He contributes. So he's a cool guy. So I want to make sure I get this as correct as I can. So right off the bat, I'm getting a bit of nuttiness. And that's just off the first draw. So nuttiness right off the bat. I really like that. Another reason that I'm excited to smoke the cigar is because the chamali's been blowing up. Everybody's been talking about the chamali. All the reviews that I have been watching on the chamali have been great. And this cigar here is the same factory that the chamali's made. This cigar is, these AG cigars are made at as well. And then Cigar Carpenter, he actually did a good thorough review on these cigars. I think he did both the lighter shade and the dark shade. So if you guys want to see what those cigars are like and get like a good in-depth proper review, check out Mike's channel. Damn, man, my phone's always going off. And then I don't want to silence it, because when I silence it, I'll miss something. And like 10 minutes will go by and it's like, hey, did you see this message? Hey, did you respond to this? And it's like, God damn, I didn't. So I'm getting a tiny bit of spice right at light up. And it actually stays on my palate. But it's not a overbearing spice. It's a nice spice. But that nuttiness is coming through, and it's already giving me like a creamy smoke texture. It's really good right at light up. And I think smoking's so good. I'm gonna have to silence my phone. The last video that I shot, I silenced my phone, and I was talking to the camera, and then next thing I know, it had been like 15 minutes. And when I looked at my phone, I had like 6 messages, a few missed calls, and it was somebody that needed a question answered right away. And I was like, damn it, man. So that's why I'm trying not to, because I'm very easily distracted. So I won't even notice the message. So there's a twinge of sweetness coming through, especially on the retro, but I also have it on my palate. I just can't narrow it down. I do know that the nuttiness that I'm getting from the cigar, nuttiness for me varies. Some nuttiness is bolder, and I know that Carpenter describes it as like a walnut nuttiness. I think it's Carpenter. I sometimes say these things because I hear other people say them, and then I always forget, did this guy actually say that? So I think it's Carpy, right? But It's like a walnut nuttiness, and that can, in my mind, that creeps into like bitter, a little bit bitter. But I enjoy like a bittery kind of nuttiness. Sometimes it's not super bitter, like it's not get crazy, just like a tiny bit. But then the one that I really like the most is when it creeps into like cashewy kind of nuttiness, because it's like a smooth cashewy, and cashews in my mind have like a tiny bit of sweetness, and they're very creamy. Like I think like of a creamy cashewy nuttiness. That's what I'm getting from this cigar right now. I will sometimes go into a cigar expecting it to be good, bad. You usually hear a lot of mixed reviews on a certain cigar. And on this cigar, some cigars I go into it already expecting a bit. Sometimes that bites me in the ass because I'm expecting so much from that cigar. This one right here, I did go into it expecting it to be good. And sometimes that can skew like your judgment, positively or negatively actually. So I guess this, what I'm saying makes no sense because I'm contradicting myself. But this is a really nice cigar. But like I was saying, I was going into this already kind of thinking this was going to be good, because Carpi had smoked it and said it was good. And some people are very honest, and Carpi's one of the guys that I know is honest. And then Johnny OCD smoked this cigar, I believe this exact same one. And he just smoked it and told everybody in Cigars Unbanded in the Discord, just like, hey, this cigar was freaking great. What is this thing? I don't even know what this is, but it's great. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's Alex's cigar. That's the AG cigar. And him not knowing what it is, didn't get sent to him by Alex, nothing like that. He said, this thing is really freaking good. And was actually inquiring where he can get them. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, Johnny is saying how that cigar is good, and he has no reason to say that it's good. You know, it's just his opinion. And if he liked it that much and told us, it's because it's going to be a good cigar. And I can see it does have a tiny bit of spice. I'm not sure. I didn't rewatch Carpi's review just because I didn't want any of his notes to influence mine, because that tends to happen as well. But, and I don't know clearly what Johnny got. He was just saying how good it was. And I know that can happen, especially for me. If somebody sends you a cigar, whether it's the manufacturer, which rarely happens with me, right? I'm not getting cigars from like manufacturers. The few that I have gotten, you do feel kind of like, oh man, what if I don't like this cigar? What if luckily I haven't really ran into that situation. I got some Ferriotagos from Michael Herklotz. I've smoked 2 of them, and they were both really good. The Panamericana, I smoked that one, and that one was a freaking great cigar. I actually regretted not shooting a review for that cigar because it was really freaking good. And I hadn't smoked very much Ferriotago before. And that one was great. And then the other one was pretty good. I don't remember which one that was, but it was good, but it wasn't like amazing. Not like the Panamericana. That one was freaking really, really good. But there's this thing where like if a manufacturer sends you a cigar, it's one thing. But a smaller shop or a smaller, like Alex, I don't think he's got like a big operation. I mean, again, I don't know. You know, I have no idea. But if they send you a cigar, sometimes I remember watching reviews of guys saying, oh, this cigar was sent to me by, you know, not just Cigar Bomb by a friend, actually by somebody that's involved with the cigar. And it's like, man, how much can you trust what they're saying? Because you have that sense of like, oh man, I don't want to say that I don't like it when it was sent to me. But at the same time, everybody that sends you stuff has to know that you're going to be honest. You should be honest. Because there's a sense of responsibility that you have if you're going to be telling people that a cigar you smoked is good or bad. Obviously, that carries more weight when you're somebody like Hound Dog or like Master Ash or something, because if somebody like that says this is good, people are going to go buy it. So for me, I don't really feel that pressure, but I still would hate to be like, damn, I don't like this cigar, and I'm going to have to say it. But luckily, the cigar is smoking really, really good. And it's burning very nicely as well. Look at that. Damn, look at this thing. I recently ordered some chimales as well because everybody says how good they are. And with them coming from the same factory and stuff, I was imagining, which this doesn't always work like this, right? But I was imagining like, okay, cool. If they're both coming from the same place, they should both be pretty good. And I'm looking forward to that cigar even more now that I'm smoking this one. which there's a ton of examples of cigars coming from the same place that, one sucks and one's great. So, I mean, I guess what I just said I'm saying a bunch of stuff that makes no sense or doesn't hold any type of weight at all. But so far, this cigar is going really well. It hasn't changed much on me. Right at light up, it's been pretty consistent, teetering on linear, but the tasting notes are good, so it's going good. But I'm gonna keep smoking this thing down, and then I'll check back in a bit. All right, guys. So getting down on this AG cigars. Been smoking this thing down quite a bit. I should have checked in a little bit sooner. Damn, see what I mean? Like the ash, it fell right now. Stupid thing. Okay, so like I said, I just say a bunch of stuff sometimes and I'm not sure. I'm glad I asked Alex, because whenever I see Ecuadorian and it looks like a lighter shade to me, I'm like, oh, it's Connecticut, but it's not. It's Habano. It's a Habano wrapper. Habano wrapper. So apologies, Alex, if you're watching. I'm sorry, man. It is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. So the cigar was worrying me a little bit, right? Because there was a point where I was a little bit worried, because earlier when I mentioned that the cigar was starting to get a little bit linear, but it was still good, it started getting a little bit muted for me. And I didn't know if that's because I wasn't focusing on the cigar, so I was paying attention to it, and it still was like a little bit muted, where it was just I was tasting the same thing over and over again. I'm like, damn, is this thing gonna get bland on me? But then it started shifting on me nicely. The flavors ramped back up, and I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't lose that cashewy nuttiness, because I was really enjoying that. It is gone now. Now it has gotten more into a little bit bolder. I'm down to the final third now, and I'm starting to get close to finish with the cigar. I was getting like a very light fruit sweetness. It was very light though. It was like an undertone. I was getting like a light fruitiness, like a sweetness from it, left on the palate, not really on the retro, just on the palate. And I wanted that to ramp up a bit, but it didn't really get there. And that cashewy nuttiness shifted to like a roasted, toasted kind of nuttiness. More of like the traditional nuttiness that I get from a cigar, which is still good. I love nuttiness in cigars. It's one of the notes that I really, really enjoy. I think recently on one of the Unbandeds, we were asking what's like our favorite notes. To me, cashew nuttiness is like a sweetness with like a smooth, did I say this already? I think I said this already. I might have said this already. So if I did, just ignore what I'm saying now. But cashew nuttiness is like a smooth, very silky kind of, I don't know, I freaking really like cashew nuttiness. I don't get it often. So the nuttiness I'm getting on it now, it's good, but I do prefer the cashew nuttiness. Then there's this weird thing that I got. I'm not by any means trying to say that this is like Cuban or taste Cuban, right? But I'm just gonna tell you guys something that I've experienced with some Cuban cigars. Whenever I smoke a Cuban, I don't usually get very much sweetness from a Cuban. I always get like a fruity sweetness from really good cigars that I enjoy, that fit my palate in New Worlds. But in Cubans, I always get like, I tend to get more of like a grassy kind of hay. And I said this once about the Romeo and Julieta White Churchill, that I get like a manure kind of, and that sounds bad. Everybody's like, damn, like it's like a shit cigar. It's like, no, dude, like I don't dislike it. And I'm not saying I like manure, but it's like a hayish, grassy, with a bit of dankiness. Like it's something strange that I get. And this one gives me a little bit of that. Right now, I'm not saying this is like a Cuban cigar and it tastes like a Cuban. No, I'm not saying that. I hope nobody misunderstands that. And this is what I'm getting this from now. Like a toasty, roasty nuttiness and that little bit of hay, grassy note. But see, now now I am getting some of that fruit sweetness now. Yeah, that's weird, because earlier I was getting a different type of note, but now I'm getting that sweetness back, which is that I'm welcoming. It's good. This cigar it is a pretty complex cigar. At first I thought it was going to be pretty linear, but it is turning out to be pretty complex, and I'm enjoying it. One thing that I'm not getting that much, I do get it a little bit, is Carpi said One thing that I remember from Carpy's Cigar Carpenter's review was that he said it was very floral. He got a lot of floral. Now, I don't know if he smoked the size. I don't remember. Because Alex does have a few different sizes in his cigars. He said he got a floral note. Carpy might have been smoking a completely different cigar than I'm smoking. He might have smoked a different blend and everything. So I'm just, you know. But in my mind, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be floral. And I haven't gotten much floral until now. I'm getting a little bit of floral, but it's not much. It's a little bit, which I enjoy floral notes. Now that Alex told me that this is a Habano wrapper, it feels like it's like a very light Habano wrapper. For me, that's why I could have sworn it looks like to me, it looked like it was a Connecticut. Actually, no, it is kind of dark, but I thought it was like a Connecticut and it was smoking kind of like a Connecticut. Maybe that was my mind playing tricks on me, but it's a very light Habano wrapper. That's how I'm interpreting it. And a lot of this stuff is up to your interpretation, right? I could be telling you what I'm getting from this cigar and it may be different than what you're getting. And I may view it like a very light Habano and somebody may be like, no, dude, you're crazy. This is why I don't like doing reviews. And I feel like this is kind of turning into a review because I'm thinking too much of this into the cigar, which I don't like doing that. It takes a bit of the enjoyment out of it for me. So it's a freaking good cigar. I like it. I'm going to go and buy some of these cigars because they are really good. I would recommend for you guys to try this cigar. I don't know about the darker blend, but this one right here, I think it's good. I think it's definitely worth the try. Definitely worth to pick it up. I think you can only buy them from Alex's website. And I think it's, here, let me check. It's just AG Cigars. Then you add the rest of it. I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, hopefully more people review these cigars. And that way you guys can get like a good representation of this, what people are getting from the cigars. That way, you know, people with better palates could tell you what they think. I know that, like I said, Cigar Carpenter's video, he's got two of them, the lighter shade and then the darker shade. And I know that, and then Master Ash has smoked one. I watched that one. That one was the darker version as well. That was the darker shade as well. And there's a few people who have reviewed them. I think Marvin reviewed them, and I haven't gotten a chance to watch that one. But there's also, I think Hugo and Steven, Epicurean Smokes, they actually had Alex on their live stream. So check that one out. Yeah, check out this stuff, man. If you guys search around for the AG cigars, you'll see a few videos out there, and check them out because see what everybody else is getting. I do feel very strongly about supporting people who are kind of in the community, and especially whoever's part of the Cigars Unbanded community. And because Alex watches, I think he's on the Discord, because he watches and he chimes in, throws in comments. To me, he's one of us, right? He's one of the guys from the community. So I think I strongly recommend, I feel very strongly about supporting people who are in our community. So I'm gonna tell you guys, go try these cigars. And that way you know that they are good. I'm pretty sure whoever smokes these is gonna think they're good. You can't say that kind of stuff, right? Can't say most people are gonna like this, because what if they don't? But I also love the Opus X Angel Share, and then Matt hates it and Peter doesn't like it. So then I guess you can't really say you guys are gonna like the cigar, because nobody likes the same cigars. So now that I'm getting done with the cigar, the sweetness has ramped up on it. I still am getting, now I'm getting more of that floral note now that I'm getting towards the end. The smoke's getting a little bit hot. And like I've said in a million of my videos, sometimes the smoke getting hot makes it bitter, sometimes it makes it good. And this one is just ramping up like the sweetness a little bit in my mouth. So I'm happy about that. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I don't think I can add much else to that. Really enjoyed this cigar. I honestly thought this was a great cigar. Really enjoyed it. I did go into it with pretty good expectations just because what people have been saying about them. So I say try them, you know, give them a shot. Support some of the guys from our community, and yeah, check out any other videos people have made on these AG cigars. Thanks to Alex for sending us over. Really appreciate it. That's it, guys. See you on the next one.